Mobile in-app purchase revenue hit 167 billion in 2025, according to Sensor Tower report. Yeah, stuff is growing on IAP revenue side. The downloads are going down, so we're going through this monetization-first era where volume is not as that important as monetization and being able to squeeze the LTV.
Two and a Half Gamers exclusive.
Breaking news.
Literally breaking.
Hi there, this is 2.5 Gamers segment again, and we're gonna dive into the news of this week. Beginning with our favorite story of Ubisoft. So there's some pretty major news by Ubisoft revealed this week, which concerns its structure, some cuts, and some new policies. So Ubisoft reveals new creative house structure, cancels 6 games, announced final round of cost cutting and studio closures to drive 200 million savings. So what was done here is pretty much Ubisoft is now segmented into these 5 houses, and each of the 5 houses, beginning with Vantage Studios, that was the one that it offloaded its major IPs, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six, and now Tencent is all over it and slowly taking over. So that would be the Creative House 1. The Creative House 2 would be Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, The Division, so the shooter house. Creative House 3 would be Operating Rooster, Select Sharp Life Experiences. So stuff like Brawlhalla, For Honor, Riders Republic, Skull and Bones, the Too Big to Fail pirate game, and The Crew. House number 4, dedicated to immersive fantasy worlds, Anno, Beyond Good and Evil, Might and Magic, Prince of Persia, Rayman. And house number 5 would be the mobile house, which is Hasbro Portfolio, Hungry Shark, then SketchUp, and Colibri, of course. So there's this kind of restructure. There are some games cancelled, including Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. Just kind of looking forward to it, so pity that. And 3 new IPs and 1 mobile title. On top of it, Ubisoft is asking all staff to return to the office full-time to boost the collective performance for AAA. Still remember when they called it quadruple A in their case. So what's happening here? Ubisoft is pretty much on the verge of going down. So something had to give, and this is pretty much what happened. So they're cutting more people, closing studios left to right, and either delaying or closing all games, pretty much trying to live again within their means. Let's see what happens. I'm still not very optimistic about execution in most of these houses, because let's see what happens there. But again, the management, in my opinion, needs to change. Let's see, because it's still within the Guillemot family. Last piece of news regarding Ubisoft is about its new strategy towards AI. As always, Ubisoft is the one that hops from one trend to the other. So this was always there. New operating model will further empower the execution of the group strategy centered on open world adventures and game as service native experiences, supported by targeted investments, deeper specialization, and cutting-edge technology, including accelerated investment behind player-facing generative AI, which I guess the PC players will be really happy about. But who am I to say? But yeah, I'm all for AI as far as how to use it actually, and you don't create the famous AI slop as I'm not calling Ubisoft to be Ubisoft. But yeah, let's see. Moving on. Rovio partners with Kingsoft and Kingsoft Shuyu, and it's because they're relaunching Angry Birds back to China. Angry Birds being one of the most recognized IPs on mobile in the world, originally launched in 2009, and it's already surpassed 5 billion downloads globally altogether. The next Rovio announcement is that it partners with OBB to develop Angry Birds Rush, which is, as listeners may know, as we multiple times covered it on the podcast just briefly, is a luck battler or coin looter, or however you want to call it, pretty much the 3rd generation social casino games. Hopefully we'll get Rovio to speak about this live on the podcast soon. Moving on, Anka Ventures launches to back early stage mobile game and app startups. If you guessed that this is coming from Turkey, yes, this is coming from our friends from Turkey because the market is extremely hot there. Some people are saying already overheated, but let's say because there are big hits coming from Turkey and Turkey is still going full steam ahead. Italian competition authority is investigating Activision Blizzard over Diablo Immortal and Call of Duty mobile monetization. Pretty much some stuff on deceiving UI practices concerning parental controls and all these other things. So no, it's not the loot box apocalypse as everybody is kind of waiting to happen. Global mobile in-app purchase revenue hit 167 billion in 2025, according to Sensor Tower report. Yeah, stuff is growing on IAP revenue side. The downloads are going down, so we're going through this monetization-first era where volume is not as that important as monetization and being able to squeeze the LTV is. Continuing, RuneScape, your favorite childhood game, if you were there, surpasses 3 billion in lifetime revenue as Jagex, the company behind it, marks its 25th anniversary this week. Yep, it's pretty big achievement, I would say. This game, even though it's, again, go Google it and you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I would really like to see even games like Ultima Online also still doing these things, but yeah. Hats off to the guys and wishing happy anniversary. Outfit 7 launches new game division Play Valley, and yeah, get this, studio launched first title on PC and working on additional games spanning new IPs and concepts. Yeah, Outfit 7, the guys behind Talking Tom from Slovenia, launching PC games was not on my bingo card this year, but why not? I'm really looking forward to it because, as said, as you know, we're focusing on Steam PC platform more and more as we go. Valve to slightly relax AI disclosure guidelines on Steam. So what's happening here again, thankfully AI is getting more mainstream and more streamlined. Before you had to disclose any usage of AI, if I understood correctly from the article, and now you only need to disclose usage of generative AI, including when the game generates assets itself as part of its functionality. So that's good. Hopefully we get to kind of stop talking about killing printing presses. Wildgate maker Moonshot laying off unspecified number of staff. Why I'm keeping this up is because Moonshot is part of Dreamhaven, and Dreamhaven being one of the biggest hopes of the PC startups pretty much out there, because this is literally set up by Mike Morhaime in 2020, the former president of Blizzard, and there already are basically 5 studios which are making games under this giant umbrella of ex-Blizzard folks, and it seems that it's getting from bad to worse for them because, yeah, I guess market has changed a lot since they launched World of Warcraft or StarCraft, but again, let's see, fingers crossed that this can go somewhere, because I would really like to see some new Blizzard-style quality games from there, as I don't think so we're gonna get that from Blizzard itself anymore. And then we have interactive Pokemon experience to debut at Universal Studios Japan. Because Pokemon is 30 years old this year, again, congrats. It's actually quite mysterious, because we don't know what this will actually be. If it will be some kind of a Super Nintendo World theme park or some single experience or whatnot that try to be like kind of, it will be this and that global development project. They'll bring the Pokemon world to life in an unprecedented, interactive and rich way. It's like I'm hearing Trump, really. But let's see. I'm really looking forward to what happens here. Hopefully, maybe there'll be some kind of VR, hologrammy, whatever thing. Let's see. Anyway, Pokemon is still killing it, and for those who don't know, there should be Pokemon Stadium releasing this year, and maybe even more Pokemon games on mobile. So it's gonna be a tough year for all the other Pokemon mobile games there. Anyway, that was the news. Happy weekend, and see you next week. Ciao.